It is hundreds of years in the future. The polar ice caps have melted and the world is covered by water. For the remaining inhabitants, the only hope is a mythical place called dry land. A mysterious solitary hero, a woman who believes in a new life, and a little girl who carries the secret of dry land.
They say if you read the marks on the child, they'll lead you all the way to dry land.
Dry land's a myth.
Action!
This is the story of Waterworld, one of the most ambitious and highly anticipated films in the history of cinema. The film stars Kevin Costner as the Mariner in one of his most challenging roles to date and is directed by Kevin Reynolds.
The Mariner is kind of a futuristic mountain man figure. He's a guy who lives on his own out in the wilds of the open sea.
There will always be these characters in movies. As long as people are making movies, they're a little braver than we probably are, and a little more adventurous, that do the right thing in times when we're not sure we would do the right thing.
The saga begins when the Mariner comes to a man-made atoll to trade the most precious commodity known.
Pure dirt. 3.2 kilos.
So what's the word? We trading or not?
Here he comes across a woman named Helen, played by Jean Triplehorn.
She believes in dry land, and she knows there's a better life out there because civilization, as she knows it, is dying.
And the key to a new world is a mystical child named Enola.
What do you draw me?
Portrayed by 10-year-old Tina Majorino.
Enola is a very strong person who has a secret, of course. She's always drawing, like palm trees and horses. But the interesting thing about it is that nobody knows what it is because they've never heard or seen anything like it.
I am the bad guy in the movie. Proper introductions first. I'm the deacon.
Dennis Hopper rounds out the cast as the head of a merciless group of rampaging marauders.
Don't just stand there! Kill something!
I'm a warrior priest. The deacon has an army of guys called the Smokers.
Did I say anybody could leave before the battle was over, did I?
My smokers are very versatile.
After a year and a half of preparation, the production of Waterworld began off the Kona coast of Hawaii. For 8 months, up to 1,500 cast and crew members waged a daily battle against Mother Nature to film almost entirely on water, an unparalleled challenge.
There are days that we went out with the intention of getting a shot, and you have 12-foot swells.
When you're on the water, shots that you take for granted on dry land, where you can just put a camera up, you can put people in front of the camera and film it, you can't do that on the open ocean.
Well, it was learning that no matter what you plan, something different is going to happen out there.
I mean, we had tsunami warnings, we had hurricanes coming in, we had to evacuate the set.
There's difficulties on water, and also opportunities are created inside any difficulty. What becomes possible that was not possible on land? And you have these opportunities, and that's what we try to take care of.
The production's ingenuity and creativity resulted in one of the most impressive sets ever built, the home of the Atollers, a man-made island that stretched 1/4 mile in circumference and weighed over 1,000 tons. This architectural wonder was designed by Academy Award-winning production designer Dennis Gassner.
You can explain it forever, but people come here and they say, oh yeah, the atoll, and they walk out and they go, I mean, they're just speechless.
It was just so Cecil B. DeMille. It was so huge.
With the help of Lockheed Aerospace, Gassner constructed the atoll on 8 separate flotation devices.
This is the largest floating articulated structure in the world.
300 workers toiled around the clock for 3 months to complete a set that could amazingly be towed to deep water and withstand 45-mile-per-hour winds.
I thought it was the most coolest place ever.
The other star creation was that of Costner's vessel, a 60-foot trimaran, which incorporates some of Hollywood's most ingenious innovations. The ship changes from a trolling mode to an attack mode, where the 85-foot mast, boom, and sail actually change on the spot.
The boat had to become a character. We wanted it to have a Swiss Family Robinson feel, meaning a guy who lived his whole life on it could merely move around and touch levers, and up he would go, and down he would go, and forward. And in fact, those are some of the resourceful things that he uses when he's in trouble.
Just as the story of Waterworld challenges the imagination, so do the filmmakers in creating action which has never been seen before.
There'll be guys running across the bridges, guys jumping down between the fires.
Stunt coordinator R.A. Rondell was responsible for most of the film's dramatic action.
At one point during the production, we had 50 or 60 stunt people full-time for 2 or 3 months. They're the top guys in the business. So these guys were doing big rides where they were 30, 40 feet in the air underneath the helicopters, flying over the walls, flaming arrows and stuff flying at them. Just a small day in Waterworld. Today we're doing a very tricky shot. We've got a camera helicopter flying in a very close formation with the seaplane. Below we have 4 water skiers skiing at about 75 miles an hour.
30 seconds to a shot, everyone.
Hey, boys, what do you think? It's your call. Want to go?
All right.
Is everyone okay? Break away. It's a garage sale. Everybody clear.
Striving for a realistic look, Costner insisted on doing most of his own stunts.
It's like packing your own shoes. For me, it is still fun to get the bad guy, to duck the bullet, to save the girl. I mean, come here for a second. I started right here and slid all the way down to the very end.
Yeah, I was a little nervous. I had a few palpitations that day.
And I'm going to push off, and I'm going to try and catch up with the plane. Now that clearly wasn't my idea, but that's how it was written, and that's how we did it.
Kevin's Slide for Life took place on another production masterpiece, a 600-foot supertanker, home of the smokers called the D's. For the film, a full-size set was constructed in Los Angeles, along with a 120-foot model in the Mojave Desert.
Speed, blow it.
When the visual effects were completed, what was a parking lot became the middle of the ocean. To add to the reality of Waterworld, acclaimed costume designer John Bloomfield designed a unique and authentic wardrobe.
On the stand here, I've got one of Kevin Costner's costumes. And these are his fish skin pants. They're made of mahi-mahi, which is a local Hawaiian fish.
Creating the world of Waterworld was particularly important when it came to the props. Like everything in the film, this too was a challenge.
On a normal film, I'd have between 6 to 10 weeks of preparation, and I would bring 2,500 props, and that's a big film. On this film, I had 25 weeks of prep, and I brought over 10,000 props to Waterworld.
It is a world unlike any you've ever seen.
Let me out, I can fight!
With a timeless story.
No!
And a hero for all times.
I love this. This is like a kid's dream.
This was movie making like I always heard about.
The exotic quality of Waterworld is something that reminds me of what it is I like about movies.
It should be a rip-roaring, wonderful, beautiful adventure.